Tornado kicks, weird crescent kicks, starting front roundhouse kicks. This is what is going to happen on the second round between Jindubi and Tae Joon. The blue tried to block the side kick of the red, but on the third kick, the red doubled it and scored on the blue helmet. This is the reason why I tell you that the goal of a block is to unbalance your opponent and that you have to protect your face against a side kick because they can easily double it, like in this case. The blue is able to come back with a weird crescent kick that scored on the back of the helmet, but this is not enough to win the match. So in the last minute, the blue was able to earn 4 points with a surprising tornado kick. The red changed his attitude, but it was too late. If you want to learn how to perform all the techniques used in this fight, subscribe to my channel, click the like button, help me to get at least 60 likes so you can support the spreading of this video, and use the bar on this video to scroll on the technique that you want to learn. We can start to analyze on how to counter sidekick as a smaller fighter. The blue, on the first sidekick, he missed the right timing, but he had the proper timing on the second one. As we can watch on the third block, he started later than the opponent, so the red was able to get an higher spot, and of course he decided to double the technique to the helmet. This is something that we have to learn, but more than learn, because it's an easy technique, you have to practice a lot, because it's not that easy to double a sidekick. We need to practice with a friend, where we start first with a sidekick, our friend block our leg, and we need to strike against the chest or the helmet. In my opinion, the blue mistake was the position of his block. His leg was under the opponent leg, and that type of block hadn't any sort of impact on the opponent action. If we want to stop the opponent action, we need to cross our shin, and then we need to push the kick. Or we have to block the opponent's shin with the highest part of our instep. So we can hook the opponent's leg and we can push it and balance our opponent. In the first 20 seconds of this round, we learned how to block a sidekick and how to counter a block. Imagine what we can achieve on the rest of this fight. This blue's passive strategy doesn't work very well because the red is taller and is very good at controlling the distance. So when the red plays on a larger area, he's going to score a lot of points because he has a longer lever compared to the blue and is extremely fast. In the case where our opponent is taller and faster, we have to find a way to score. And the way, in my opinion, is to close the distance. Main strategy of this blue. He closes the distance with the front axe kicks or he closes the distance with side kicks. And every kick is followed by a clinch or by a descending kick to the armor or a crescent kick to the helmet. In this case, the red hug him, but trust me, it's rare that your opponent is going to hug. In this situation, we have to create some space with our arms, but your goal is not to push your opponent, but you have to push yourself. And then you can strike some roundhouse kick on the chest, or maybe you can try to slide back and strike with the front roundhouse kick. Like the blue did on the first round, you can watch the first round by clicking in the top right corner of this video. Now we can learn how to strike on the back of the helmet. This is a very important technique that we are going to learn in this video and that you can easily steal and practice in your doujin. It's a very easy technique, but it's a little bit tricky to put into practice. So first of all, we need to close the distance. It can be, as I said, an axe kick or side kick, it doesn't matter, or maybe it matters depending on your opponent. Then once we are on the right range, about half a meter, you have to flex your arms to create some space, then you need to strike with your leg, of course. This technique is a little bit different from a roundhouse kick or crescent kick, because this technique seems like an inner crescent kick, but it's more similar to the first part of an axe kick. So it's just going to lift the leg to hit his helmet. And what we can watch that the blue, to achieve a deeper spot on the opponent's helmets, he needs to incline his upper body on the side and lift his leg with the goal on his mind not to hit the opponent helmet like I told you, but to hit his helmet. Don't get me wrong, this is just a way to understand the technique. Of course you don't want to hit your own helmet, we want to hit the opponent's helmet, but with those words maybe you can understand the proper technique. So your goal is to lift your leg to hit your helmet, but of course you want to hit the opponent's helmet. And what it really matters is that you need to incline your body. In this way probably you are going to achieve a perfect split. Instead, if we want to talk about rules, this kick is not valid if we stop the video because he blocked the opponent with his arm. So by rules you can't grasp, you can't grab your opponent and strike with a kick. It's not allowed by rules. So you have to perform this technique without holding your opponent. Now we can watch a similar action from a different perspective. He closed the distance and he struck with another crescent kick. So I can confirm that you need to tilt your body to achieve a deeper spot. Maybe some of you asked me how to score with a tornado kick, and now in this video we are going to understand what's the best moment to perform a tornado kick. This technique requires a little bit of things. First of all, we need to be enough close to our opponent. In this case, it's something like a square of a mat. Then we have to set up a pattern. By setting a pattern, I mean that you have to first strike multiple side kick or multiple roundhouse kick, so that your opponent is going to react to this kick and is not going to react to a tornado kick. And like this case, the red was ready to dodge probably a side kick or a roundhouse kick. He responded with a dodge to the tornado kick, so his body moved first than it thought. This is what you want to achieve. And as last we can perform our technique, that in this case is a two-step tornado kick. This front leg was used to perform a higher kick. And if I can give you some advice, without watching high-level players, you can easily increase the chance to score with this technique if you first push your opponent in the corner, because the opponent can't dodge by sliding back or step back. So I advise you to use some side kick or roundhouse kick to push the opponent in the corner, and once he's very close to the line, you can perform not only tornado kick but every type of spinning technique. Trust me, you are going to score a lot more points with your spinning kicks. We can learn now the two-step roundhouse kick. Another technique that I stole from Park Tae Joon is the two-step roundhouse kick. That is a lot similar to question mark kick, but in this case we start with a crescent kick. Then we turn the foot on the mat and we evolve our crescent in a roundhouse kick. This kick doesn't work a lot because our opponent can easily block it, but still is a technique that we can learn from this guy. If you want to learn how to counter an aggressive taller fighter, we can learn something in this part of this video. The red needs to come back, so it's going to play with more aggressive strategies. The first counter that we can learn is to block and roundhouse kick. It's a very simple combination, nothing really to explain. You just to lift your leg, cross your shin, push the leg with the opponent so you can unbalance your opponent, and you have to rapidly strike with your back leg on the opponent's back of the armor or the helmet. In the last 10 seconds we can learn, probably, but it's a lame strategy, how to defend the lead in the last few seconds and perform multiple spinning kicks to avoid that his opponent strike back on him. Now let me know in the comment section what you think about this fight. You can click on the screen if you didn't watch the first round, and don't forget to subscribe to my Telegram channel if you want to get even more in-depth guides about Taekwondo.